I'm Tom, and welcome to the very first episode of VinylCast, the unofficial Disney Vinylmation show brought to you by VinylmationPriceGuide.com. This week I'll just be telling you about what's going to be happening every time we have a show, and then hopefully it'll get bigger and better every week. So, the show is produced by VinylmationPriceGuide.com. It's not just paid for by them, it's done by the same people. So every week we'll bring you news and release dates, but there's lots of websites out there that do news. We won't be bringing you every little bit of information, we'll be bringing you the key things you need to know, as well as pictures of the upcoming Vinylmation. We'll also be having a Vinylmation of the month, where every month one particular Vinylmation is given the title Vinylmation of the month, and we'll have a look at the series that figure's from, why Disney might have chosen that figure, whether we like it, and most importantly, what price we estimate it's currently at on our website. And since the show is going to be every other week, so one show on a Sunday every 2 weeks, because of that we won't have a new Vinylmation of the month every month, but on the first episode of the month we'll announce the Vinylmation of the month, and then after that we'll see if the price has changed since the first time we looked at it. And also we'll be looking at individual series, what's up and coming, and hopefully we want this to make this your show. So hopefully you'll send us some videos, pictures of your own collections, and we'll show you an example of the kind of thing you can send us in this episode. So without any further ado, let's get into the news. First off, some Vinylmations that were released recently. Urban 9 has been released at both district locations in downtown Disney, California and downtown Disney, Florida, and they were released on May 11th. Also, the Star Wars collection has been released at the Star Wars weekends at Disney's Hollywood Studios this weekend and last weekend, and they feature classic Disney characters like Mickey Mouse, but dressed up as Star Wars characters. The Phineas and Ferb open box series has also been released and is available in D Street locations and Disney stores. And the Brave set, which again is open box but it comes as a whole set, has been released. That was first released on Disney's Facebook page on May the 4th, but is now available at Disney stores. And that's it for your release series, but I'd just like to mention that the annual trade event, the Vinylmation Showcase, is now available to buy tickets for, and they did a similar event last year called Florida Project. This year it's called Mickey Circus. It encompasses pin tradings as well. It's a two-day event, but the Vinylmation portion of the event takes place on the second day in September and is available for $60 per person. Now, I haven't said much about the event at this point. We will be covering more to do with this event on the next VinylCast show, but if you want to see more information about it already, then there will be a link in the description below this video. Then we've now got some release dates for you. On May the 28th, that's tomorrow, the 25th anniversary Light Up series will be released at Disney stores. Also on June the 1st, the remaining 2 Tunes characters will be released. They've already released 2 of those, but there's 2 more coming out, Donald and Popstar Dale, and they will be released at both these 2 locations. On June the 4th, the So Tasty series will be released at Disney stores. That is enough to make you feel hungry just by looking at them. Here's some pictures. And on June the 18th, Villains 3 will be released at Disney stores. That's all of your releases. Now that's it for the news and release dates. Let's move on to Vinylmation of the month. Yes, now it's time for Vinylmation of the month. And this month's Vinylmation of the month is Stromboli from the Villains series. It's from the original Villains series, which is quite old now. This was chosen because, well, it's a personal favourite of mine because it was the first figure I ever bought, but also it is the image used on the header of our website. As you can see, if you visit our website, it's right at the top. Now if you have a look on the bottom of this Vinylmation, it does say Disney Villains Series 1, Stromboli, 1940 Pinocchio, designed by Jim Valerie. And interestingly, they chose to put this in the first series of villains. There's already been a second series released, and there's a third, as I mentioned, coming soon. But they chose to put this one in the first one, which shows it's a pretty significant character for Disney. And as I said when I'm reading the bottom here, Pinocchio was released in 1940, which means just a few years ago it celebrated its 70th anniversary. I have here the 70th anniversary Blu-ray special edition, also includes a DVD version, and it's been really beautifully remastered and put onto this Blu-ray edition. And if you do want to buy this, there will be a link in the description of this video. But personally, I think this is a really good choice for a Vinylmation. It does look pretty nice, and he's a pretty well-known character. There's some more obscure villains in the later villain series, but I'd say, everybody knows Stromboli. Pinocchio is not I wouldn't say it's my favourite Disney film, but I do like it, and I like this Vinylmation. Now, currently on our website we estimate this figure at being worth $12, which is a pretty average price for the villain series and for a series that old. So if you did want one of these, you could probably easily get it quite cheaply off eBay, or you could trade for it with another common Vinylmation. So please let us know your thoughts on this Vinylmation in the comments below. This is the Vinylmation of the month, although it is already the 27th of May, so he hasn't got long enough to be the Vinylmation of the month, which is a shame, but next month we will be having a new Vinylmation of the month. So it's quite a good choice for this month, because with the Villains 3 series coming out so soon, it's nice to look back on the older Villains series, and you can see a lot of them behind me. But there isn't much more to say about this particular figure. It's nice. Oh, and it's on the old mould, of course. A lot of people don't like the new mould, so this is one of those nice old mould figures. And I'm a fan of the whole Villains series. I prefer Villains 1 to Villains 2, just a personal preference, but I like this one. And as I said, it was my first figure ever bought, so I'm kind of biased. It's got a special place in my heart. But to be honest, I think that's all we can say about this particular Vinylmation. It's related to such a classic film that it was always going to be a win, really. And just to say a bit more about this special Blu-ray edition, the extra features on it is just, you'll keep you entertained for hours. I mean, it's got the making of Pinocchio, trivia challenges, audio commentary, everything you could think of to be as an extra feature. So I definitely recommend that you buy this, and also get your hands on this figure if you haven't already, because it is a really nice figure. But again, that's about all I've got to say about it, so if you think different, leave a comment and let me know. That's it for Vinylmation of the month, this month. Yeah, you've guessed it, it's now time for viewer submissions. The only problem is, this is our first ever episode, so we haven't really got any viewer submissions. But we don't want to leave you without any viewer submissions for this week, so I'm going to pretend to be a viewer, to give you an example of the kind of thing you could send in. So here's a video that I took when I visited Epcot. This was in September last year, and I did pay a quick visit to the Vinylmation showcase event at the Florida project, so you can see a bit of that in here as well. It only lasts a couple of minutes. Here you go.
Yeah, he's kind of weird.
I hope you enjoyed that video, and it should have given you a good idea about the kind of thing you can send to us. Please, we want this to be your show. Send us pictures of your collection, videos of your collection, videos of when you've been to Vinylmation trading events or anything to do with Vinylmation at the parks. It doesn't have to be, the video doesn't have to be entirely Vinylmation. As you can see, I included a bit of the illumination show at Epcot. But as long as it's got something to do with Vinylmation and it only lasts a couple of minutes or so, we'll probably show it. And really, as I said, we really do want this to be your Vinylmation show. Whatever you send us, we'll try to include, as long as it's related to Vinylmation. We really want to see your collections. Maybe do an unboxing video. You opening a box, oh, I'm surprised. That would be really good to see. So, please do send us as much as you can. What you can do is, you can upload the videos to YouTube and then post them as a video response to this video, or send a link to the video in an email to VinylCast@vinylmationpriceguide.com. I wouldn't send us actual videos and attachments because they're probably going to be too big a file size. Maybe you can if you try to keep the file size small, but if the file size is quite large, upload them to YouTube and then send us a link to them. You can also send us text-based emails to VinylCast@vinylmationpriceguide.com and we'll read them out on the show, or send us pictures as attachments to that same address. You can also send us tweets at VinylMationPG, as this show is done by VinylmationPriceGuide.com, and that's our Twitter address, and similarly Facebook.com/VinylmationPG. Really, that's it for this week. As I said, the show will be on again in 2 weeks' time, on Sunday, so hopefully you'll join us then. Thanks for watching. Please keep in touch with us.